Hello? Let's get started in a few minutes. As you can see, I've got to get set up. So you can watch me as I get set up. You need a mat, and you definitely need blocks or a very thick book, 2 of them, and a wall. Okay, so I'm gonna set up over here. You can watch me as I set up. Thank you for joining me. By the way, I'm Kelly. Thank you for showing up. Very excited about this session. Come on, Maxwell. Come here. Come here. May I sit down? Hey. What do you think, Maxwell? People are watching us. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Kelly, and this is Maxwell. Let's do some restorative yoga. Let's restore the body, okay? Our muscles. We're going to talk about hamstrings today and focus on stretching the hamstrings in a more gentle way and actually being effective. So you don't have to intensely stretch hamstrings to make a difference. So restorative yoga, let's just go ahead and get started. So on your mat, facing the front of your mat, sit well, sit up tall. We'll get moving just a bit, and then we'll hold poses for a longer time. Reach up your arms and stretch. Reach up really, really high as you can, reaching the shoulders or lifting your shoulders, and then lower down the shoulders. And as you do that, I want you to turn your body, place your hand on the outside of your leg, and center your chin up with your breastbone. So don't turn the neck here, just turn the shoulder back. Achieving that twisting position in the middle of your back, the thoracic part of your spine. Take another deep breath in, then exhale and center up your body. Reach up your arms again, lift the shoulders all the way up, reach. And then we're going to turn the other way. Again, center your chin to your breastbone. So you're right here. And then fingers behind the hip, opposite hand on your knee, and turn the middle of your back. Not the chin though, or not the neck. Just notice the difference in just isolating more of the middle of the spine, the 12 vertebrae, underneath the cervical spine, and then center up. Let's move to, or come to a seated, or a kneeling position. On your hands and your knees, right here. Put the tops of your feet, plural, 2 feet, hands on the mat, and spread your fingers. Lower your navel towards the floor and look forward. Inhale. And then as you exhale, round your spine and let your head come between the arms. Press the floor away and let the pelvis tuck. So you're rounding the spine right here. Then lower your belly down towards the floor and look forward. Inhale. Then exhale and round up. Inhale. And then exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. So then tuck your toes under, come to a standing position, place your hands at your thighs, and with your back flat, start to straighten the legs and lift the body all the way up. So I'm going to show you how to fold over. Inhale, reach your arms up and bring the arms to your sides. So whenever you fold over, which we often do in yoga, you fold over a lot in life, right, to pick up things, but specifically when we're in yoga practice, folding over your, the pelvis is important, where it is physical, or where it is in space, over your legs and then underneath your body. So if you have put your fingers, your long fingers, the middle fingers, right at the top of the front of the hip point, and then stand up tall, look forward, place your thumbs at the lowest rib. So you want to maintain that space right there. So bring your focus there to your fingers. And as you fold, pull your front ribs in, and with your back flat and keeping that space, fold to where you're at about 90 degrees. And then you go a little bit further than 90 degrees, you'll feel your hamstrings right there. And then you kind of descend the upper body over. So the upper body flexes over. And then you can bring your hands to your blocks. So everyone, blocks are books right here. So that is how you protect the spine when you fold over. So to come up, reversing that, pay attention. So bring your hands to just above the knees, lift up your back flat, press into your feet, and then lift all the way up. So that is how you lift up from folding. We'll do that again. So place your thumb at the lowest part of your ribs, the lower ribs, the floating ribs, and then put your fingers, your longest fingers at it's called the ASIS, hip point. Look forward, so your chin is neutral, pull your head just slightly back. What you want to not do is, a lot of people will puff their chest like this, right? And so then my back is rounded. You don't want to do that, because then you've already got your sitting bones, or the hamstrings right at the sitting bones, stretched out. So don't do that. If you want to look up here, fingertips at the hip points, thumb at the bottom of the ribs, keeping that space, pulling the front ribs. Now I'm just keeping my back flat, and I'm folding over all the way a little bit past 90 degrees, and then I let my head drop all the way over. And then reach your hands for your blocks, like this. Relax the shoulders. And then lift up halfway. Place your hands on your blocks a little bit higher if you have books. Just keep your hands on your blocks, on the flat part, the stable part of your standing the books up. Bring the hands to the top of the knees, and then lift all the way up, pressing into your feet. Good. All right, so standing, continuing to show you another way to stretch the hamstrings is up against the wall. So you can bring your feet out as far as, and then you have to kind of lean into the wall, and your hands are spaced shoulder width apart. And walk your feet out further and lengthen the glutes back. So press into the wall. Now you can also walk in a little bit more and walk your hands down more, but pull in your front ribs and press into the wall. Walking back makes it easier, even if your legs are at an angle, or not straight up, or ankles a little bit past behind the hips. Pushing into the floor, pull in the front ribs. There's your hamstring stretch with your hands on the wall. And then lift up, walk the hands up, and then stand up. And then another third way to stretch the hamstrings, and we'll stay here for a moment. So going to put legs up the wall. If your hamstrings are really tight, you'll move like slightly away from the wall, about a foot away. And if you've got pretty mobile hamstrings, flexible hamstrings, then you can come up to the baseboard, lower your head down, and then lift your legs up and inch your body to position up the wall, legs up the wall. So if you're shaking in any way with your legs up the wall, you may need to move away from the baseboard. So your legs should be straight, your head flat on the floor, that's important, and bring your arms to your side with your palms up. So we're kind of workshopping this hamstring stretch just a little bit. It's a little less about, flowing and restorative yoga. I'm having you think more, right? So, but now, with the legs up the wall, kind of settle into your body, and we'll continue and flow more, or not flow, but do the poses, the restorative poses, and allow your focus to be more inward and relaxing the body. And the central nervous system follows along with that, with your breathing. So your arms are to your sides, palms facing up. This should be super relaxing. The blood flowing out of the legs or down from the legs, down into the body. It's an inversion, a type of inversion. You can close your eyes right here and just recognize the sensations of the lower back relaxing, the legs up. There's one pose that you could do just one particular pose. This one is it. Restores the back, the legs. A lot of focus is often on stretching the hamstrings intensely to try to get them to release, but you don't necessarily have to do that, especially up where the attachment is at the sitting bones. Better to moderately stretch the hamstrings to keep suppleness and flexibility, and then help from the ankles and knees and hips. Then a lot of focus is sometimes not on stretching very important muscles like the quadriceps and the calves. Those two require some attention. And the psoas muscles, the hip flexors. So we'll get to stretch all of those areas in class today. And then also not forget about the upper body, stretching the shoulders and the chest and the back. So now, just bend your knees and let the knees come out to the side and have the bottom of your feet touching. And if you want to, you can use your hands and press the knees towards the wall. Just intensify that stretch just for a moment. But then let it go and place your hands underneath the thighs and elbows on the floor, so you're kind of propping the legs up or kickstanding the legs. But relax right here. Relax the pelvis and the shoulders. Pelvis being the hips, and shoulders meaning the space between from one side to the other, the chest, and the back, upper back. And then using your hands, bring your legs in towards each other, slide the feet down, So you can hug the legs in. But keep your feet on the wall. Lengthening the lumbar spine, the lower back. Extend the right leg up straight. So straight up the wall. And then the left leg, reach your hands behind the hamstring and pull the leg in towards you. And so you can keep a slight bend in the knee. This stretch is super safe for the hamstring because you're resting on the wall and the floor. You can't really overstretch at this with the not pulling strongly on the leg. Breathe, inhale and exhale. And as you hold this, you may feel the muscle, the tissue changing, a little variation in what you're feeling as you continue to hold the position. You don't need to flex the foot, just have your foot at its normal angle. And then just reach up and grab the calf. Continue to keep your leg slightly bent. And let's change sides. So bring the left heel to the wall, and then you'll just reach behind the right hamstring and pull that leg in just slightly, just where you feel the slight bit of where you feel the hamstring stretching. Not to overstretch this right now. Notice your foot, notice your ankle in its natural position without engaging. Then reach up, grab behind the calf, and just gently pull a little bit more. Feel the hamstring stretch. Don't overstretch right here. Slight bend in the knee. So when you're standing and you fold over, you have more stability when the legs are straight. There's less stability when you bend the knees and you fold over. So the idea is to, when you're folding over, especially in yoga, to have your knees straight, not locked, but straight legs as you fold over. And like I said, the space between your ribs and your pelvis or your hip point staying the same to lower over, to stretch the middle of the hamstring rather than stretching up near the sitting bone. When your knees are bent, the tendency or the stretch happens more at the sitting bone or the hamstring where it connects to the sitting bone. So if you ever heard the term yoga butt, so that's just where you feel sensitivity in the deep in the glutes. That's why, because of that repetition of movement, folding over with slight bent knees and overstretching the connection of the hamstring to the sitting bones. Okay, so now let that go and bring your feet together, your knees together, and let's roll over to the side, and then we're going to come onto your hands and your knees again. So bring it up over here in the middle of the mat. And let's just put the top of your feet on the floor and lower your belly towards the mat. Cat-cow just one time. And walk your hands to your knees and grab your blocks or prop similar to your blocks. Step your right foot forward. If you go out to Target or Walmart or any place or order on Amazon, I think it's yogaoutlet.com. Get some blocks. They are inexpensive and they are well worth it. You can use it for many other things in the house. Also, whenever you need to have a platform or you need to, set something up higher. They're great building blocks, but they're really great for yoga, and there's nothing wrong with using them. So your knee over your ankle, you're shifting your hips forward, and use those blocks. You can even come up on the highest length of the block. If you're on books, you're right here. We're stretching the flexors in the front, so that muscle that I was talking about earlier that should get some attention, not just the hamstrings, to keep all of the middle of the body, the hips and glutes and lower back safe, are healthy and without pain. So now we're just going to walk your hands back, blocks back, so about to the middle of your leg, and then you can flex your foot right there. Hamstring stretch. So that you're probably hopefully feeling this right in the middle of the hamstring. Your 3 hamstring muscles. They go down and attach on the medial and lateral part of the knee. All right, so now we're just going to change sides, not in this pose for too long, just enough time to stretch the quad flexors on the front of the hip, and then this leg in the front. You want to have the knee over your ankle. So the stretch is happening right here, primarily. There we go. So hands on the surface, you can maybe move them up higher. Just be comfortable right here. Restorative yoga uses props to support the body in stretches rather than having the body actively stretching on its own. So that, in essence, creating this deeper relaxation effect in the body, in the mind, the central nervous system. And now walk your hands back to about the middle, flex your foot, push your heel down. There's your hamstring stretch. So your hip stays over your knee. That's important. You don't want to sit back here. You want to have your heel forward. And if it's okay, straighten your leg. If it's not, if that feels super horrible or if you're shaking, just bend your knee. Right? And don't hyperextend either. You don't want to lock this knee. You want to have it just straight. Press into your heel and you'll have some strength in the stretch. And breathe slowly and deeply. Equaling out the inhale to the exhale. The length of the breath. Now place your foot on the floor, bring the knee underneath you, and let's just bring the blocks beside your knees. Reach up and over one direction, feeling the side body stretch, right? So lateral flexion of the spine, looking forward, and then just take it over to the other side. Using that surface to feel stable, supported. And then reach up and place your blocks beside your mat. I'm going to get a strap. Forgot that. So have a strap and sit on your mat Place your blanket where your head will lie. And just scoot to the middle of the mat. Lower your head to the floor, the back of the head comfortable on the floor, on the mat. And bend your right knee and pull that knee in. Place the strap around the ball of your right foot. Extend the leg up. And then reach up as high as you can so your arms are straight, but then allow the weight of your arms to pull your leg in towards you. So again, just like when we were up against the wall, your knee is there's a slight bend in the knee, and that's okay, because notice where you're feeling the stretch in the hamstring. It's like right in the middle, probably, or a little bit higher than the middle, but that's okay. You just don't want it to be all the way up at your sitting bone. You can overstretch your hamstrings. Relaxing the shoulders, the chest. Breathing in and out. Close your eyes. With your eyes closed, or you can open them, grab the strap with your right hand, extend the left arm out to the left, and lower your leg to the right. If you turn your head, your chin, the direction of your arm, the opposite direction of your leg, you'll have a little more balance. You want to keep your left thigh down, calf on the floor. Notice the angle of your foot over there. You want to turn the heel up and the toes kind of down, just a slight change of the angle. You'll get a little deeper stretch if you do that, but not over stretching, just enough. And then inhale, lift your leg up. We're going to go over to the other side. You can bend your knee if you prefer, but I want you to try to keep your leg straight. Reach up with your left hand, change your grip. Right hand comes over to the right. Balance by pressing the palm down. Then lower the leg across the center line of the body to the left. And stop about halfway and lift your shoulders up and settle them down evenly, so both shoulders on the floor. And then turn your gaze towards the right as much as you can. And maybe you can lower even more, keeping your shoulders on the floor. Foot's flexed inside the strap. Hip stretch. IT band stretch. Relax the shoulders. You have to intentionally think about that space, the shoulders, and then the hips relax. The legs. The mind. Being patient. Taking time for yourselves. All you do during the week. Here's your showing appreciation to your body for movement by spending a little more time focused. Begin to lift your leg up and just bend your knee right here so your foot is facing up, and reach your arm on the inside. You can keep holding the strap right here. Have happy baby pose. Pulling your knee in towards the shoulder as much as you can. So think this is your position of the lunge we were in earlier. Begin to straighten the leg, just to extend it once, and then we'll change sides. So lift up your left leg, place the left foot in the strap, remove the right, place the right on the floor, reach up both ends. There's no need to wind the strap around your hand, just reach up and hold with your grip. So it's kind of a neutral grip. And then you're letting the knee just be comfortably, softly bent, and the weight of the arm is pulling the leg in towards you. Extend the right leg out straight. So try to straighten it all the way down, long and lengthen, reach that heel away from you. Notice what happens in the hamstring right there. Breathe. Close your eyes. You can let your right foot go. No need to hold that with tension. Alleviating tension in areas that you're not even aware are tense. The brow, the shoulders, the chest, the pelvis and hips. Close your eyes. And then let's take the strap in your left hand, reach your right arm over to the right, and slowly lower the leg to the left, all the way over. And then turn your heel up, toes pointing down. Press this left thigh down and reach the right arm, look over to the right. And breathe. Begin to lift your leg up all the way. And then we're going to go across the body to the other side. So change your grip to your right hand, leg lowers across, stop about halfway, and then lift your shoulders up and adjust evenly on the floor. And if that's enough, stay there or descend the leg further, a foot closer to the floor. Turn your gaze over to the left. Maybe you can bring the foot all the way to the floor but don't force that. Don't feel that you've got to reach the floor if it's taking away from the stretch by causing you stress. You don't want to overstress or overstretch. Non-harming, one of the Yoga Sutras. Protecting, taking care of your body. Begin to lift. Let your lower back settle on the floor first, then bend your knee and reach your hand up high on the strap and keep that knee bent. Just extend that right leg out straight. Your heel reaches away from you and the head resting comfortably on the floor. There's your lunge position. Can you pull the knee in a little bit more? Just a little bit, just a little tug. And then you start to let up on that, release the strap. Let's move the strap or put the strap on the floor. And we're gonna roll over to your stomach. So I'm gonna turn all the way around so that I can have my head facing or that direction. So however you wanna roll over to your stomach, your belly, place your blanket under where your head will go and your elbows, because we will come into Sphinx pose. Move that over. So coming to the mat on your belly. Put your forearms down on the floor and get comfortable with your forehead down. Feel the body, the weight of the body, gravity pulling you in equally. Now slide your elbows onto the floor in Sphinx pose. So press your fingers into the mat or into the blanket. Pull your navel away from the floor and spread your blades apart. Right there. Good. So your blades are spread apart by pressing into the mat. So here I'm dumping into my shoulders, right? So now I'm going to lift up, abs contracted. This is just a strengthening posture for a moment to strengthen your posture muscles. Press into your feet. Abs contracted, pull the navel away from the floor. And the next pose is one of my favorites. It's half frog pose. So lower down, and this is about stabilizing or adjusting your hips. So your left leg is going to stay straight. You can press into the top of the foot. And then bring your right knee out to the side. Heel underneath knee, and you can look over and see that that's happening. How's your proprioception? Did you get it right? Looking down and seeing that heel is down below the knee and the knee outside of the hip. Turn your head the opposite direction of your knee. And set your head down. Relax the shoulders, relax the head. Then relax the back, the pelvis, your shoulders, jaw, the brow. So that right leg to the side, externally rotating, inner thigh, stretching and relaxing. Go ahead and start to extend that leg back straight along the mat. And let's stretch your quadricep right here. So put your chin on the mat or the chin or the forehead on your hands or forearms. Then bend your right knee. Lift up your chest so that you can reach back and grab your foot. And then set your forehead down. If you can't grab your foot, you can try to lasso it with the strap or reach the strap around the top of the foot. lengthening the quadricep muscle. Stretching all the way into the psoas, to the hip. And let your foot go. Toes come all the way down to the floor. The top of your foot on the floor. Let's change sides. Half frog pose on the opposite side. So bring that knee out and you can look over and see where your placement is. If your knee is uncomfortable on the side, scoot over so your knee is on the mat, but keep the knee to the side and then turn your gaze the opposite direction. Turn your head and looking out the opposite direction. And then close your eyes. So your ankle on the floor, your knee on the floor. Relax the shoulders, the pelvis, the jaw, restoring the body. Start to lift your head. Look at the floor or the mat. Extend the left leg out straight. And we're going to stretch the quad on that left side. So reach around and grab your foot. And then set your forehead down. So I'm not forcing anything right here, by the way. I'm just grabbing my foot. Lengthening, feel the stretch in the front of my thigh. Forehead down. Start to lift your head, let your foot go. And then we're going to go over onto your back. I'm going to slither up onto my hands and my knees and change my direction again. So however you would like to finish class in Shavasana, set yourselves up. I'm going to show you one option if you have blocks and a blanket, or you prop up whatever you can underneath your knees like this, or the bolster. You can put the bolster underneath your knees. I'm going to place the blanket because it's not too high. Then the blocks. Here's your blocks. So this is going to be where we open up the upper body, the chest. So the one block or one book right here, and then the other right here. So my shoulder blades are going to go here. The back of my head is going to go here. And so I'm going to scoot, make sure I'm landing on it correctly. Bring my knees out just a little bit, my feet turned out, and then I'm going to walk down to my forearms and find the block. Where is it? Oh, it's too far. So move the block in. Make sure it's level. It's right at your bra line, guys. All right, shoulder blades on the block, and then moving the other. My ponytail is in the way a little bit. So to move that. Move the block far enough back that your head is straight. You want your neck neutral, primary. So I'm one level higher, or about an inch higher with my head than my shoulder blades. And then make sure this is even underneath your blades. If it's not comfortable, then you've got it either too high or too low. Same thing with the one under your head. So then bring your arms out to the sides and turn your palms up and close your eyes. Shavasana. Inhale through your nose, a deep breath there. Open your mouths and exhale. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale. Continue being aware of your breath for the next 2 or 3 breaths. And then let your focus fade. Into this place where you're present, but without thoughts. Not contemplating, not reflecting, just being for the next 4 minutes. Visualize your body on the mat, on the objects supporting you. Take a deep, refreshing breath of air in. Open your mouths and let that go. Again, breathe in deeply. And fully exhale. You can bring your arms in closer to your sides. Turn your palms down. Feel the earth. Feel the ground beneath you. And just slide your feet onto the floor. You can place your feet on the bolster or blanket. And then best way to come off blocks if you're on blocks is to just kind of roll over and sit up somewhat and then move the blocks. And they'll lie flat for a moment without any props. So move the stuff away from you and lie flat. Grounded. Gravity pulling you in, hugging your body, supporting you. So then bend your knees and rock the knees over to the side. And I want you to lie with your head resting on the inside of your arm for a moment. Try to bring your knees closer to your body so you're feeling the comfort of your body. Be comfortable in your skin. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale it out. Now press your hand into the floor and lift the weight of your shoulders, the weight of your head, lifting up and coming to a seated position. Cross your legs if that's okay. And sit up tall, close your eyes. Bring your hands together, the edge of the hands to the heart. And thanks. Bring the edge of the hands to the brow, the mind's eye, the third eye, and gratitude. Bowing your chins. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up and doing this video with me. And if you're doing the recording, I appreciate it. Thank you. And your body appreciates it also. So be well, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye.